Hello there, my name is Garrett Pryor. I'm the Toll Policy Manager with ODOT. Pronouns are he, him. I'm here to give you your monthly update for August 2021 on the Oregon Toll Program. So just to remind ourselves, the Oregon Toll Program really started back a few years ago with state legislation HB 2017, and it sets out these two goals. We're trying to manage congestion and generate revenue. And so where the toll rate lands, that green sweet spot in the middle, that's going to take us a few years to decide. And so that's the work we're working towards. Key terms, we're here to help. So tolling or toll are general terms, the same thing. It means a fee on drivers, which can be charged for a segment of the road or access to a bridge. You might have also heard of the term congestion pricing, and that's a type of tolling that charges a higher price during the peak traffic periods to manage congestion. So there are two toll projects going on currently. The first one here is the Regional Mobility Pricing Project. And the elements that you see on your screen here, the biggest challenges of our day of equity, climate change, congestion, safety, and reliable funding for transportation really guide the work of this project. And as you can see on the right side of the screen, the footprint, the largest footprint for where this project would be studied, we're still in that phase, would be here on I-5, just starting at the where below the interstate bridge replacement. So starting to the south of that and going down I-5 to include Boone Bridge. And then on the I-205 segment, it would pick up pretty much all of I-205 in the Portland metro area. And in the state of Oregon that isn't included on the I-205 toll project, which we'll talk about here in a second. So a key decision coming up on this project early next year is to decide the direction and the alternatives that will be analyzed in what's called the National Environmental Policy Act, or NEPA study. And so a key document to that just is released this month is the draft purpose and need statement. So if you sign up for newsletter communications, we're doing a lot of outreach in communities, presentations to boards. We also have some working groups that you can join in on. Those are opportunities for you to get involved. As you can see here, the purpose and need statement is broken down into a few elements. It has the purpose, the need, the goals, and objectives. And so what was sent out this month was this, you see here on the right side of the screen, this draft purpose and need statement that's really kicking off that feedback. So as you can see here on the screen, this is our engagement we did just last month in July, over 156 public comments, 1,600 unique website views, and almost 4,000 responses to our mini surveys. So we're really thankful for that and the feedback that you've been giving. And as you can see here on our little chart, this past summer month, this has been a real increase in the number of comments that we've received. So we really thank you for that. What we're hearing, just a lot of concern about revenue and taxes, this being a new price that would be put onto the transportation system. A lot of concerns about equity and what does that mean, really trying to define that. And what is it going to mean? What's the timing for how tolling is going to be implemented and how will that work? Those are kind of our top three areas that we heard about last month. So a few things, what will this regional mobility pricing, what will this congestion pricing look like? It will be what's called a variable rate toll schedule, meaning you'll know the price before you get on the road, but at times where there's higher congestion, there'll be a higher price, and at times where there's kind of little or no congestion, there'll be a smaller price or no price at all. What hasn't been decided yet are what segments of I-5 or I-205 would be tolled and at what prices. Also, as this is studying this, 45 miles per hour may not seem like a fast speed when you're on the highway, but compared to the gridlock that happens almost as a daily occurrence here on our Portland highways, the pricing must be set to maintain this 45 miles per hour on the roadways during those peak congested times. And so action, the draft purpose and need statement is out now. We would love to hear your comments within this next month on that. So the I-205 toll project, which is the second toll project going on right now in the region, is a 7-mile stretch of I-205 in the Westland, Oregon City, Gladstone area that you can see here on the right side of the screen. This project is similarly driven by addressing the biggest challenges of our day in equity, climate change, congestion safety, and reliable funding for transportation. And so a key decision coming up early next year are analysis of the impacts and project investments. That's kind of going on now. And so the best way to stay involved is by signing up for our newsletter updates. And then we'll be, and reach out to us because we're currently making plans and reaching out and doing specific feedback in the community engagement, meeting with local residents, businesses, people in impacted areas. We have neighborhood association meetings we're going to. We have community engagement liaisons that already are in the community that we're working with. We're also showing up to a lot of local government meetings and coordinating with those leaders and transportation staff as well. And so the key message for this month is to understand that what you see here on the screen, which is the I-205 improvements project, is connected to the I-205 toll project in that the improvements that you see here on the screen will need tolling to pay for them. And so the phase 1A, that's the rebuild of the Abernathy Bridge. And then the other phases are the reconstruction of the road, seismic retrofitting of bridges. And then phase 2 would be the missing third lane, adding the third lane to I-205 in that stretch of the highway. And so the toll project that'll be studied to then fund those improvements is what you see here on the screen. This is alternative 3, which was a part of our previous alternatives analysis process. And it would toll the segment of road that goes over the Tualatin River that you see here on the left side of the screen, and the Abernathy Bridge that's over the Willamette River, which is there on the right side. And so because we're in this process of kind of analyzing and gaining feedback on the benefits and burdens that could be provided with the I-205 toll project, please reach out to us if you live, work, or travel in this area. So the last update this month is the Equity and Mobility Advisory Committee. So a key decision coming up by the Oregon Transportation Commission are commitments to advance equity and mobility. And so what that means you see here on the screen are transit multimodal options, impact to affordability or low income residents or travelers on the road, and then impacts to neighborhood health and safety that could be caused by diversion of people trying to get off of the highway to avoid the tolls. And so we're going to look into that as well. And so this is the Equity and Mobility Advisory Committee. It's 15 people from around the Portland region, including the state of Washington, who've been working for the last year and a half. This month, they're looking at affordability and transportation needs. They've been working in previous months on neighborhood health and safety and transit and multimodal options. And then the next few months here, September through November, they'll be working on putting all that together as a draft recommendation to the Oregon Transportation Commission. So what does it mean, affordability? Our EMAC, our Equity and Mobility Advisory Committee, has really looked into these key elements, which are travel costs, financial barriers, impact to small businesses, defining low income as 200% of the federal poverty level for the area, environmental justice populations, which is a kind of a federal definition, and also economically disadvantaged. And so in the EMAC materials, if you go to their website, there are 3 key documents: a research document, which looks at research from around the United States on what tolling projects have done for these impacts, some key policy and strategy options that could be done to address that, and then looking in the details of how are we actually measuring the impacts on affordability, the benefits and burdens, and what are called performance measures. And so that policy and strategy options document, that is what's being discussed now, and then it's going to be continued to be furthered, and we would love to hear your feedback on it as EMAC looks at that and moves it towards the Oregon Transportation Commission. Please reach out to us with your ideas about how ODOT should address affordability concerns in developing an equitable toll program. We would love to hear from you. So here's my contact information, and my boss is Lucinda Broussard, Toll Program Director. We would love for you to reach out to us with any comments or questions or interest in getting involved more. Go to OregonTolling.org And please follow us on Twitter at the Twitter handle you see there. We would love to hear from you. Thank you so much. And that has been your August update for the Oregon Toll Program. Have a good day.